What up, everybody? What up? How's it going? It is Friday Eve. Friday Eve, aka Thursday, I guess, but I like to call it Friday Eve here with the LSU Odyssey peeps. Hope everybody in LSU world and really everybody in the world doing okay. I hope everybody's safe, having a good time. And hopefully it's not too crazily hot where you are because it is heating up fast, and so is LSU's recruiting. Okay, the 2023 class looks to be heating up right now where commitments could be possible. This is not usually known as commitment season, but we've seen a flurry of commitments in June over the last over the last few cycles. Not just for LSU, but for college football, high school football recruiting in general. So when you look at what LSU across the board, what you're looking at for LSU's 2023 class, you're looking at LSU. We are going to get at least one quarterback. That is a must for this class. They are going to sign a quarterback, at least one of these guys. I would actually say why not even two of these guys? Because this is a very just very bottomless, talent rich quarterback class 2023. Jaden Rashada, recent 5-star to visit LSU here with Coach Joe Sloan. Joe Sloan also got Dante Moore, another 5-star from Martin Luther King to come down there. And Mike Scarborough was saying the other day, and I've been hearing it too, that LSU, Dante Moore, those vibes just keep getting more and more positive there. So Eli Holstein, Arch Manning, they can go to Alabama or A&M or whatever, but Georgia, it sucks that two of Louisiana's most talented quarterbacks in recent years, at least by the rankings, and most celebrated, will be going to hardened SEC rivals. But it is what it is in modern college football, where you see a lot of Louisiana talent going elsewhere because there's just not enough places. Look at LSU's transfer portal this season, this offseason, where LSU got back, got a bunch of guys that we basically missed in 2017, 2018, 2019 classes, and they were able to have a second chance at being Tigers through the portal. It's that can work this way too with the 2023 class. It's very bottomless, talent rich. I think it'll be a class that'll be called upon for a while to come, just like 2022. But it seems like LSU hit all of those 2022 targets outside of receiver, where we lost all those guys to Alabama. Will that happen this class? Because this class is so key at receiver when we're losing Kayshon Boutte for sure to the NFL draft next year, not even a question. And then, Jeray Jenkins as well, graduating and heading for the draft. And then you got, Jack Besh, Malik Neighbors, Chris Hilton Jr., all heading for their money years. Kyron Lacey, all heading for their money years. So you've really got to replenish receivers. Shelton Sampson Jr. is such a high priority for this LSU recruiting staff that I feel like they made sure he understood that this past weekend. He really had a lot of good talks with Cortez Hankton, a lot of film watching, a lot of talk on what they're going to do, how they're going to use their receivers, how they're going to get them into matchups, all sorts of game talk and stuff like that. And they took him on all sorts of tours everywhere of LSU, and basically just said, you know what, Shelton, you are our number one priority at receiver. And they made no bones about that with the enhanced attention. And that is something that contributed to Omarion Miller decommitting for sure, because, hey, I'm going to look at my options. You're not showing me the same kind of attention and reverence as you are Shelton Sampson Jr. Am I the number one guy anymore? That type of stuff. Hopefully we can get Omarion Miller to recommit, because once again, Omarion Miller is another singular, brilliant Louisiana talent receiver, I feel. And Shelton Sampson Jr., definitive number one of the class, with Omarion, who, you could argue three, four, five overall, in my opinion. He's that good, um, of the class. And then you got them both from the state of Louisiana, and you got them both right there within touching distance of LSU commitment, being LSU Tigers, being the first of the class to commit. Kind of a show me what you got decommitment here from Omarion Miller, and we'll see what Brian Kelly can do. But Shelton Sampson Jr. is the number one priority there at receiver. Make no bones about it. It's a spot where LSU have to replenish in 2023, and they have to make a big splash there. Cornerback, safety, other positions where LSU just have to deliver here. And there's bottomless talent. LSU have already hit the ground running with Steeples and Cooks, and you saw Christian Gray taking another visit, but that once again he's going to be visiting Notre Dame, Ohio State, all those schools again. And so Christian Gray, it's up in the air with him. It's up in the air with him. But there's other targets. There's plenty other corner targets, and just overall at DB that are very intriguing. Derek Williams, safety from Westgate, who I feel, you know, if not the best safety of the class, at least right there. Just an absolute freak. 127 tackles last season, as Westgate wins the state title. Very, very, very versatile, instinctive type of player. Ball hawk as well. You know, Jordan Matthews from Woodlawn at corner is a player that is very interesting because he didn't get a lot of targets. Quarterbacks were kind of afraid of him because of that lack of film. You didn't really, lack of interceptions, lack of gaudy stats. You didn't really know what you'd get from him. But Jordan Matthews has really piqued a lot of interest from Robert Steeples. But there are, just like Dalen Austin, there's these names that aren't really being up front and center in the recruiting world for LSU. You're not hearing much about, but when you look at everything, they're getting these offers, and there's some 2024 guys who I feel like are very much needing some mention here at corner in the 2024 class. Zion Ferguson, who's really he's loving what LSU are giving to him. He's coming back as well, which is fantastic. Wardell Mack. Wardell Mack is a really interesting prospect. Sorry, I got itch my foot. Wardell Mack is a very interesting prospect. Didn't allow a catch last season. Very interesting. Had a few interceptions as well. Had a fantastic camp there at LSU and drew big interest from Steeples, big interest from Cooks as well. They both, in tandem, recruited him. And then, quarterback once again, someone who camped at LSU this last weekend, Mabry Matauer, out of Woodlands, Texas. Woodlands, Texas. Sorry, my bad. Mabry, he was throwing dimes all over the place, really dropping it right in the bucket, putting it right in everywhere. Some of the footage of him throwing the ball, maybe like one kind of off throw, if that. The rest, it just looked really crisp from him. I think he wanted to go out there and make a statement to Joe Sloan and prove something. And, DJ Lagway, another 2024 quarterback, is someone who LSU have just been going hard after. And he might even be playing baseball too while he's at it. I think he played third base and outfield or something. And then, everyone keeps asking me about Tackett Curtis, updates on Tackett Curtis. It would be fantastic for LSU to get him back for a visit before the end of the summer. Just at least one more visit. I believe he's going out to USC right now. That's what I've heard from a source that they are heading out to LA. So we'll see. And I believe, obviously, that USC, Ohio State continue to really be pushing for him. Jim Knowles especially, but LSU are right in the background there with Tackett, and I think there's something interesting about that. And from my source close to Tackett, they're in a good spot as well. But you got to get him on repeated visits. You got to get him for another visit here, in my opinion. Got to get him for one more summer visit. That would be fantastic to seal up the summer, getting him on campus one more time. Maybe late June, July. It'll be interesting if LSU can get him back on campus, but I think they can do it. Jaden Osbury. This is a linebacker stud that I really feel like LSU, that once again, hovering in the background, but I feel like Alabama are so in that mix there and just really doing work. It's, I don't think he's going to go join his brother, playing in Auburn. But, Tuscaloosa isn't that far away. And I feel like that would be more of the situation than Auburn. But LSU continues to recruit him like crazy. But once again, we got to get him on campus for those visits. And when you see a lack of visits, a lack of action behind the interest, behind the words, you tend to kind of think, okay, I don't think that guy's going to LSU. That's what how I kind of roll with it, is like the actions to me will say everything about recruiting. It will define someone's interest. But everybody, just want to do a quick recruiting overview. Jaden Wayne, 5-star defensive end from the 2023 class, will be visiting LSU officially tomorrow. Very, very good get. Kendrick Gilbert will moved his back, I think, to June 17th. Yes, moved his back a week, probably because of the presence of Wayne. But everybody have a great rest of your weekend. We put up some really dynamic pieces on LSU Odyssey. Once again, our 1,000th article celebration piece. We put up a piece about Brian Kelly transforming our roster through the transfer portal. Very thorough, informative about everything with the transfer portal that LSU has done. And we continue to put up profiles. Brian Thomas Jr. 2022 profile, very in depth. We even got how many targets he got last year. We got all the next level stats. Next level, I'm talking not just yards, catches, but like how many first downs he had, things like that. Next level, baby. Counted by us. Okay, this isn't just copied from Pro Football Focus, some crap like that. This is tallied by us, and it's very interesting when you look at LSU's roster this season, and it's so many possibilities across the board of guys who could be absolute dynamos for this team. And doing these profiles has been very, yeah, this is what happens every off season when I do these profiles. It's very revealing. When you think a player and you research them and delve through everything and find it all out, you take a new layer of the onion peel back into the core of who that tiger is. And that's kind of what I've been experiencing going through some of these guys from this season. And a lot of our best 11 of 2021 series can serve really as 2022 profiles. If you read the Besh and Booty profile, from the best 11 Tigers of 2021 series, it's basically us going from 2021 and bridging it into 2022. If you read it, it's We tried to make it as much forward thinking as possible, forward looking as possible. And that's what we try to do here every day. We try and look forward and see what's around the bend, see what's going down for LSU. And, when I'm thinking about guys who can commit or will commit soon, I mean, we've got some July 4th commitments, of course, coming up. We'll discuss that. But surprise June commitments, any surprise June commitments, it's hard to say right now. It's hard to say right now. There's a lot of guys who are wanting to keep those cards close to the vest and enjoy the recruiting process. But I definitely feel like LSU could get a commitment in June. Before June ends, I think LSU are going to at least get one or two commitments. I really have a feeling. Um, who those commitments will be, it's kind of all over the place right now for me. I'm wondering about making a prediction there. I don't think I'm comfortable making those predictions just right now, but we're putting together our mock 2023 class, and it's all coming together, baby. And that the mock 2023 class piece, that article should be done early next week. Lot of work gone into that. Basically, everything we're laying it out there. The mock 2023 class, where we think LSU might go, where we think LSU might finish, um, everything about the players. We're gonna try and make it as concise as possible, not a novel size thing, but we're definitely gonna give you bang for your buck, especially for those subscribers. LSUOdyssey.com. Please help us support us, support our mission, delivering the best content to the number one fan base in college sports, the LSU Tigers. And you could probably argue in sports because when I think that oh no, this team's fans are better. I see a lot of them just bailing on their team. LSU fans say, yes, a lot of times there's negativity about anger about certain decisions made and certain things going down in games, but it's usually because we care so much, you know, and they're always supporting. Look at how the fans came out for that baseball team. Obviously, it was because it was a thrill a moment team, but just saying the way that the fans have rallied around the basketball teams as well, especially the women's team and Kim Mulkey. It's something great about LSU, and that's one of the main reasons why I chose to be an LSU fan. I may not have been born into it, but I chose to be an LSU fan because that's what I saw every week when I saw the Tigers playing, when I saw it behind the curtain, behind the scenes. And that's what we try and deliver and bottle up and give to you every day. And we're going to try and do our best. Thank you very much. Have a good one.